It's beautiful, guys. The Vitavon center chassis for the Xmaxx. Of course, it's going into this guy right here. This is meant to fit the Max4 and 560 kV size motor. Got a motor support right here. Got a Beast 1000 servo because guess what? A real fifth scale servo fits. How awesome is that? Guys, I'm going to get this to the table, show all this stuff to you. The brace, ESC mount. We got to get this thing installed. Let's get to the table. Look at this thing, guys. Would you look at this? Now, this motor support, this is a real legit motor support right here, guys. Look at this. It's adjustable in every possible way. And the way this is set up, you can actually add multiple screws if you really, really want to send this thing up. Man, no battery limits. Look at that. True fifth scale servo, drops in from the top. This thing, holy moly, this thing is fantastic. This is awesome. Vitavon 7075, real 7075. Holy cow. So this will fit your 800 kV motors, your 56 113 size. It might fit the 5687. I'm not exactly sure, but if you've gone this far, you need the big motor. And yeah, it's getting the 560. Oh man, this is awesome. The receiver box, nice, up top, easy to get. Got a rubber grommet. And this right here will fit pretty much anything from a Max 5 all the way up to the Max 4. Nice carbon setup, man. Golly, this is awesome. Now it's time to get the big bad Xmaxx on the table and start dissecting it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's get this thing going. Wait. The big two-piece gearbox, 30-35 gears. This is the same gearing that you would run in a 800 kV motor. So yeah, I figured it should be just about right for this setup. So, okay, let's get the Xmaxx down here. Goodbye, old chassis. I'll keep it just in case. You never know, right? Might need to build a fourth Xmaxx. But anyways, all this is coming out. The 1100, the XLX2. I forget, but I think I've got the 7085X, the upgraded one. Gears coming out, top brace, everything. Oh, let's get this going. This thing is awesome. Now, I have the two-piece drive shaft with the idler bearing in it. If by chance this does not work with the Vitavon chassis, I'll put this into one of my other Xmaxxes and then take that drive shaft and put into this one. Up next is this piece right here. Now, notice this right here. This is that 35 two-spur gear that uses the Cush drive. I won't be using this in the new build, so I'll put that into another Xmaxx as well because I kind of like that. For some reason, it actually runs really good. With the bulkheads off, I got a few things to do. Now, yes, you can keep all your stock gears, your stock motor mount, everything will go right on here, no problem. However, we're, kind of modifying the heck out of this thing a little bit more. So, I've got these gears to put onto here along with the shaft, a little support bearing which drops down into right there. I've got all that set up, and then this brace. I've had this brace for months. It's finally time to put that in. So, anyway, going to go ahead and get that done. With the bolts out, you can pop this piece up and off like that. Now, there's a new servo horn. You don't need that anymore. Now, notice, look at the difference. This one actually braces all the way over to there. So, anyway, this is going to pop right into here. Something like that. And we're going to bolt it right down. With that done, beautiful. We are now moving on to this and just simply going to take the top cover off and replace all of that. So this is the gear that's coming out right here. Now, yes, I do still have the plastic rear upper bulkhead on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an aluminum one, a nice shiny one to finish this thing off. And I'll probably use that time to put the metal suspension arms and all that on here. And at that point, this will probably become a display truck. I don't know. But anyway, you go ahead and get the new gear in. I want you guys to see the spur gear. It has a D-bore on it. Haha, yes. So that fits the shaft perfectly. There we go. That's in place. Everything looks good. Put the little plastic cover back on. Yeah, I know. Oh man, looks good. Up next is the motor mount. And just pretty much standard issue motor mount work. This is the taller Vitavon mount. And it's going to fit right down in here. And it keys in. It keys in with those little tabs right there. So that kind of keys this thing in. And there you go. Now I'm just going to tighten these up a little bit just to get them into place, because I want to get all this back together and then put the electronics in. Put the new gear cover on. That's a huge improvement over the gear cover that he had. Huge. Take the top half off nice and easy. Get to all that. Huge improvement. Now we get to put the center chassis in there. Let's get it done. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Calm down, big boy. Calm down. Look at this thing. Now I gotta show you something. It comes with this bag right here. See that tall mount? That's a taller one of those for the 7120 size motors. Yeah, got a new steering link, and that's that horn I was telling you about. Oh yeah. I've taken this back off to allow me to move all of this and get the chassis up onto there. That's it, gentlemen. That is it. Wow. All right. Move on to the back, and we get to mess with that drive shaft to see if that's going to go. Okay, so the reason for this was because of the chassis flex on big landings. Well, obviously this chassis isn't going to flex, and this does not work. So I get to install this real quick into the other Xmaxx and get the straight shaft to put into here. Got a drive shaft. That's not exactly the most clean drive shaft, but it's going to work, and it's still straight. Haha. It's time to put these two together, and yes, take the battery trays out because they kind of get in the way of some of your bolts down here. So time to get it together. One piece. Look at this. Woo! Now, I got to tell you guys, Arthur's tolerances, Vitavon tolerances, they are tight. So make sure you have your patience. It took a few tries for me to actually get this to go. But yeah, have your patience. You don't want to cross thread anything or any of that. So yeah. Now it's time for that cover, and it doesn't fit. These little tabs, these little risers, they are pretty much useless now. I don't know that they were ever any of use at all. But anyway, I'll cut those off, and then hopefully that'll fit right down on there. Now let's see if it fits. Haha, perfect. Now we got this. However, we gotta get that servo in place because this sits down into there and the ESC mounts right there. Look at all that room. Big old Max4. Oh my goodness, you guys got it. Let's get that Beast 1000 in here. As I'm putting the Beast in, look at this right here. Look at that. Perfect fit. As much as I love the Beast servos, I mean, I really do. They got a 3.5 millimeter bolt that holds the horn on. It's odd. It's really odd. And the result is you've got to drill your horns out. So drilled it with that, not quite big enough. I had to actually file it with that. But most of your normal servos, they have a 3 millimeter bolt. and you won't have to do any drilling to your horns. And you can't use the horns that come with it because it's a special short horn to fit this chassis. When you're setting this up, make sure you power up your servo and set the horn and all correctly. If you put this thing 90 degrees out, especially a servo like this, you're gonna have problems. I ran into an issue with the Beast servo. Now, see how this right here is nice and flat, the top of it? Well, look at the servo he used, a Xmaxx. That actually sticks out a lot further than what the Beast does right here. So the horn actually hits the chassis and doesn't allow me to actually bolt the servo down. So I'm gonna work on getting a set of these that actually have about maybe 3.5 to 4 millimeters longer for the Beast servos. My fix for that is modifying one of the Reefs horns right here. Drilled and tapped for 3 millimeters. You can see the second up hole cut right through the middle of that. This actually gives the offset needed and will clear. So I'm gonna put this on the Beast and actually bolt this thing down. First power is on here. Check this out. That goes to full lock to lock, both directions. Now look, we got 74% on one side, 90 on the other. So 74 to the, this is to the left, and that's to the right. Oh yeah. Yes. Yes, look at that. The big stuff is ready to go. Oh boy. Yeah, let's get this done. I gotta do some soldering on the ESC. Got some QS8 plugs. Yep, going big with this thing. The motor, let's go ahead and get that in because that's gonna be the part that I really need to show you guys. The ESC, that just bolts in. This piece right here, this is the most important piece. Look at all the adjustment you've got over here. So you can put multiple bolts back there to hold the motor. This piece right here clamps down on the motor, so it's got a firm hold on it, and it goes with the motor all the way up and down. So when I get the pinion set, the pinion mesh and all that, when I get all that set up, at that point, I'm going to get this pulled into the chassis and set this screw. And then I'm going to see if there's any other holes left over, which I'm sure there will, because I'm going to add another couple bolts to this just to make sure the back end is locked, because this is about 4 pounds for the motor. Just the motor, 4 pounds. And just so you guys know, if you don't have this set up on the back, there is no way this motor mount is going to hold this motor on a big jump. It's just not. You got to have that support. And this right here will fit the 800 size or the 2028 size motors. They're about a 56, 57 millimeter can. So yeah, it will fit those. You can adjust it forward or backwards. Yeah, nice piece, guys. Very nice piece. Much needed, especially with the weight of this motor. Well, guys, got a little bit of a gearing problem. The 35 and 30 is too much. There isn't enough room in the motor mount to actually get that. He's probably got another motor mount by now. Probably. Now, so what I found is the 32 spur gear with the pin shaft, the older version, and I've got that and a 25 too. So that'll get me right back to about what the what you would run on an 800 kV on 8S. So that's what I'm going to be running in this one when I take it out for the drive. Now, the good news is I can put the 32 pinion back on it and it'll fit. So I can get the 1-to-1. Now, I'm going to get the updated spur gear at least, so I can actually do a 32 spur gear on the newer shaft and all that. But for now, this right here is going to work just fine. Motor's in place, guys. This is awesome. 25-30 gearing. That's a really good gear for this motor on 12S. On 8S, it's going to be a little bit slow. 12S should pick it up pretty darn nice. Now, the order of operation of tightening this down. This is brilliant, by the way. Get this underneath the motor. These bolts are loose. This one's loose. This one and this one's loose. Get this underneath the motor. Tighten this one and this one right here. Once those two are tight, then you tighten these two top bolts, which will pull this onto the motor. There's no slop in here. It pulls down tight. Pull that down tight right there. And once you get all that in there, once everything is set, Then you tighten this bolt right here. I added a second bolt just because, well, I wanted to have a little bit more security. This is beautiful. This is going to hold this motor in place perfectly. Check it out. Woo! I got a little ahead of myself. I just started putting things together, but yeah, the top piece goes on just like that. I did move the receiver box down here. The reason I moved it down here is because it was in the way of the wires. So, yeah, the antenna might get broke with the body, but I think it's going to be okay. Now, this dual mount right here, if you use a 800 kV motor, 1100 kV motor, like a lot of guys will, I don't see very many people going with the 12S route, but I mean, it's a monster system for the Xmaxx, just phenomenal. I hope. We're about to find out. But if you use an 800 kV or 1100 kV, then this will fit perfectly right here. You'll be able to use your fans. Everything will be fine. This carbon mount right here will fit everything from a Max 6, Max 5, Castle Monster XLX2, all the way up to the Max 4. I haven't tried it, but it'll probably fit the smaller Monster X8S as well. So, I mean, it's got a lot of bolt options. Awesome setup. So, looking at all this, now let's look at the batteries. What fits and what does not fit. Any standard 4S hard case battery right there fits with room to spare. This happens to be a CNHL battery. Genzace 11,000 milliamp 4S battery fits. The 10,000 milliamp Genzace Advanced Smart Battery does not fit. It is too tall. The Power Hobby 5200 milliamp Pro Lipo 50C right here. This is 6S. It fits with room to spare. 5,000 milliamp 65C CNHL 6S. That fits plenty good. Plenty good. This is probably going to be my battery of choice for this particular truck. The CNHL 6200 milliamp battery right here. Nope, doesn't fit that way, and it's so close, but doesn't fit that way. It actually gets all up into the motor. So this one, nope. You guys know what time it is, right? Ooh, I haven't went into the ESC to change the parameters or any of that. It's just simply bolted in, and I've got some adapters and all that going just to power it up. Only on 8S because I kind of want to at least get a table run, you know, at least for this video, which was all about the install. I wish it would give the 8 beeps or 12 beeps or whatever. But anyway, I am going to put the tires on. I've got to see how good it can turn. But when I put the tires on, I'm not going to even do this. Let's see here. Yeah, that's slow on 8S. But you know what? 12S is going to fire this thing up. And when I take it out for a 12S run, I'm probably going to break some rules when I do that. So you guys may not want to do what I do. But anyway, I am going to put some front tires on it because I want to see how well that 1000 can turn. Okay, let's see what it's got for steering. Oh, here. This thing's going to turn on a dime. Woo! Oh my goodness. Alright, so I got to get those down because the front hook has to come in there for the body. Get this taken care of. Turn this off. If I was to blip that with this thing on, it would go right up the walls and just all over the place. I don't need that kind of action. So, yeah. Install is done. It is ready to drive. Guys, let me do my stand-up routine and wrap this up. Well, guys, here we are. That was the install. That was a lot of install. I tried to show as much of it as I could as far as, like, you know, getting everything set up and all of that. It's powered up. This thing is ready to go. Now, you're going to ask me about weight and all that. According to my scale, and put my big fat butt on there, then grab that and subtract it, this thing comes in at 34.8 pounds without the battery. So Yeah. Can the weight hurt it? Yeah. Can the weight take you out if you happen to jump into yourself? You best believe it. So it's probably going to be around 40 pounds when I get it all said and done. But remember, there's about 4 pounds of motor just on that thing. I've got all the metal suspension arms. When I do the metal suspension arms, it's pretty much going to be kind of like a display truck, a show truck that can go. Yeah, but keep in mind, this chassis is not going to flex anymore. No more bent drive shafts. This thing is phenomenal. I've still got some metal parts in the back to get, like the covers and all that. I still got to get those. But this thing is awesome. And I'm going to try 30/30 on it. But first, I want to drive this. The 25/30 is really suited for the 800 kV. Now, I got a feeling it's going to run pretty good. It's going to run slow on 8S. But when I put the 12S in it, at that point, it should pick up and be in the middle 50s in a grass field. We'll have to find that out. But anyway, guys, if you're still watching, you are seriously hardcore and you are awesome. And this was a long video, lots of tech, lots of stuff in there. Hopefully this video will help people out if they get the chassis and go to put it in and looking for some guidance. So that's what this video was about. Guys, time to wrap this up. Check them out on eBay, Vitavon, all this stuff. It's phenomenal. Check that description. Use those links. Hit that subscribe. And if you're still hearing this, I'm saying it again, you're awesome. Guys, thank you all for watching. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see, also for channel memberships. If you guys want to be a part, channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.